Good morning. How are y'all today? I hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing a series of videos for YouTube and my Patreon to show you how I live and how our life is going to be sustainable. Making under 12 grand last year, I realized the economy is not doing that great. And, well, let's just get serious. Everything they put in our food is not good for us. I have allergies now to everything. Chemicals, foods, everything like that. And I want a cleaner way of life. I want to know what goes in my food. And we're going to be building a house out of containers. So follow us on our journey, like and subscribe, and share. Thanks.
It's a really bad picture. There's 3 deer straight ahead. One's right there. There's a head, and you see that other head right in there. There's 3 of them, 3 deer. 2 young ones and one looks pregnant.
And here's Kiki chillaxing on the truck. I thought I'd give you a look at her because she's really never sitting still too much. She's always chasing stuff. This is my new addition over here for this week. We bought 4 bags of soil because my dirt over here is not that great. Hopefully in a couple of years I won't have to buy soil anymore. Just using compost to make the soil better and chicken poop. I have to make a trellis for the pole beans and the peas over there. But I got some garlic, and here are my hot peppers and 2 tomatoes. And my mother had started some carrots in Dixie cups. I peeled the Dixie cup off and threw them, dug a little hole and put them in here. I probably will have to thin them. I'm going to wait a couple of days since I just transplanted them. But these are some of the other ones I had started and I transplanted. I know carrots usually don't really do too well transplanted, but we're going to try. Corn is doing awesome. I'm hoping that it's going to have enough room in between and enough dirt to keep it in the ground. Here's the garden. The corn is still getting top heavy, I think. Maybe if I stack some rocks to hold the stake up, we'll be alright. Otherwise, I think we're in trouble for the pallets. Sunflowers are getting quite big. Broccoli and celery. I've noticed that the bugs don't really bother the celery too much. Not noticing too many holes in the leaves or anything. Having more problems with flies, and I think that's because the chickens are here. But my cabbages are starting to get heads. And my broccoli over here is also starting to form little heads. I sprayed last week with soapy water and oil, vegetable oil, on my peas because I was getting aphids, and that seemed to take care of the problem now. But I'm noticing on my peppers and tomatoes that there was this little yellow looking ladybug thing. And I looked it up and it says they're golden tortoise beetles. And I have just been going around and picking them off and putting them into a container. I know it sounds horrible, but they were eating holes in my plants. I think I caught it soon enough so I think as long as we check on them, which I do, I'm out here every single day, usually 3 times a day, checking on stuff. My spinach is going to seed. A couple of them that are going to seed. And they're heirlooms, so I'll collect the seeds and use them again. I think it's getting too hot right now for the spinach. That's why it bolted. And there is my purple bell. It's getting flowers on it. And here's a pumpkin. And this pumpkin is doing awesome. See, here are the little beetles. See if you can see them. That is what they are, and that is what I've been picking off. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this little guy before he has time to eat any more of my plants. I'm back. Had to dispose of the little beetle into a container. I'll just look and make sure there's no more around here. The store-bought herbs don't look all that great. And the topsy-turvy things, although they're growing, they are not growing fast. But exciting news, if you look down here, we're getting some nice strawberries. I had one yesterday and it was sweet. Here's another one. I love strawberries. Harvested a whole bag of lettuce yesterday from this little trash can lid where I had transplanted the lettuce in. It is doing quite well. We got the dill, it's growing. I had to cut it back, the lettuce, because it was smothering my herbs that I had put in here with it. Cilantro and basil and thyme and dill. But in a small space, you can get a salad at least twice a week from something that small. And my onions, here are the ones I planted from seeds. These little ones I planted from seed. And my spinach over here is bolted as well. And I had to pick slugs off yesterday. From here, I think they're just too close together. I had problems with slugs last year. And I think it's just inevitable because I'm right here by the creek. I mean, I've tried salt around the beds, I've tried the copper pennies. I just guess I'm going to have to plant accordingly to feed the slugs and bugs as well as myself. And here's my potato plant. It fell over 2 weeks ago and I tied it up. I'm so excited to see how many potatoes we get from free. Well, they weren't free, but I bought them from the store and they went to seed. So I planted them whole and we should see what they do. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully there's something underneath that dirt with all that foliage up top. These ones right here are the purple ones and they're struggling. Struggling something awful. Over the holiday weekend we added more to our water catchment tank. We did have this is an overflow from the gutter. And then it goes into my first shed over here where there's an IBC tote that catches all of our water for showering and washing dishes. But we added on this whole section because we had not been utilizing the full length of the roof. And since we had the garden and the chickens this year. I need a whole bunch more water. So we finally did do this weekend. So I'm anxious to see how fast the IBC tote will fill up now. Here's the inside of the shed. My lights are hung up from where I had my seeds in here starting. And it goes into the IBC tote. Here are some pantyhose, which I have to put on the inside of that pipe, but I can't seem to lift it by myself because we did not put an overflow on the other side, so I'm expecting that we will get some kind of debris in it. But when it comes out of the IBC tote and we put it into the RV, I filter it with this. It's an RV water filter, and you just screw it onto the water hose and it filters out any small sediments. And it is tore up in here. I've got to get in here. It's just been too hot. Right now, just been outside for the last couple of minutes. Doing all this less than an hour, and I am dripping sweat. It is so humid here right now. It's very uncomfortable. I don't know if I've ever shown you, but here's another balance light that we also had for our plants. And I put that on the back so it would accentuate the light. My table, after using it for one season, is pretty flimsy, but I did get a shelf that I'm going to put in here and raise the lights up and hopefully start doing some microgreens. I bought these for my chickens this weekend and they love them, but they're quite expensive. That's another thing I might try to look into, seeing if we can raise mealworms ourselves. I know some other YouTube channels have started doing that. Right? Trying to start a sweet potato so I can get it in before the end of June, July, so I can have a fall harvest of sweet potatoes. Beside there, I noticed that I had carrots sitting on the step growing in those Dixie cups and had gotten some of the chicken feed down inside of them, and they were sprouting. And since my chickens love to eat fresh greens, it's an experiment. We're going to try and see what happens. See if it grows and see if they like it. Down here, these are huckleberries that are growing. I've never tried them before. I just know that you have to boil the fruit before you can make it into jelly or anything else, otherwise they're poisonous. And my jade plants are doing pretty good. There's little Miss Kiki sleeping under the truck because it's so hot. Say goodbye.